morning, everyone. My name is Archana Venkataman, and I'm a senior analyst in the European Storage Research Team here at IDC. Today, I'm going to talk about software-defined storage and why it really matters in the digital age. As it's been said before, we are squarely in the third platform era. Enterprises are moving from the planning phase of digital transformation to the execution phase of digital transformation. And one of the core objectives of such a digital transformation project is to really improve the digital customer experience that enterprises are providing to their external as well as internal users. And to provide a better digital customer experience, they are really building cloud-native, mobile-native applications that can scale and touch hundreds to millions of users and collect huge volumes of data. And as they do that, they're finding that their monolithic, proprietary hardware infrastructure is really not able to support the dynamic business requirements that these applications are demanding from the core infrastructure. As a result, they are wanting to move to a very software-defined, agile, scalable, and highly automated infrastructure. And so they're looking at a software-defined infrastructure approach to become third platform ready. And I would say software-defined storage is really at the heart of software-defined data center or software-defined infrastructure approach, because storage is one of the important components alongside networking and compute component to make a holistic software-defined infrastructure. While we have seen a lot of progress happen in the virtualization compute space, we haven't seen much of innovation happen in the storage space, and it's only now that when enterprises are looking at the nitty-gritty of data management within the third platform digital transformation era that they're focusing on storage, and there is a real drive to adopt software-defined storage. And software-defined storage is really fit for the third platform applications requirement because it provides savings in three important metrics for enterprises. One is around cost. Software-defined storage, by definition, is a technology that enables enterprises to really decouple storage services onto the software stack and provide highly automated services, which does not really depend on hardware. They can use commodity hardware. Software-defined storage is autonomous. It provides persistent data services. It is extensible. It is scalable, and it really does not have a lot of high proprietary customizable hardware requirements. So it really is fit for the third platform era from the cost perspective because it can fit on any x86 hardware. It also provides efficiency because when you decouple software services, you can actually have a single pane of glass with which you can have consistent policy-based management approach to all your data services, and having a consistent policy-based approach really helps you remain compliant with your data services. And lastly, the performance metrics. Because the storage services are really provided from a software point of view, it's really possible for server administrators to actually provision storage without depending highly on storage infrastructure teams, so that they can understand the application requirements and scale up storage resources where it's required and scale down storage resources where it's not required in a very highly automated and agile fashion. So we think software-defined storage is really fit for the third platform era. So what are the main characteristics of software-defined storage that makes it relevant for the third platform era? The first important component is really around data organization. Because when you decouple the storage management functionality at the software level, what you can do is you can bring together a heterogeneous pool of storage. And that's very important in the third platform era, because if you see, the data created by Internet of Things is really small files like 128 KB, but the data created by big data platforms and analytic solutions are inherently different from IoT solutions. So you need a heterogeneous pool of data. You need storage solutions that can manage block, file, or object storage within your enterprise in an automated fashion. And that's why data organization is one of the biggest characteristics that helps SDS remain relevant to the third platform. Another aspect is around storage services. It can provide all your data services around snapshotting, synchronous replication, deduplication, thin provisioning, all from a software standpoint to make sure that you can leverage on commodity hardware. And persistent data stores is another important hallmark of software-defined storage, because you can provide data persistence across SAN, NAS, DAS, traditional storage systems, as well as the newly emerging storage systems around object, and cloud. And lastly, software-defined storage is so dynamic that it can be provisioned in different ways. It can be provisioned as a pure software, which enterprises with highly skilled internal storage teams can deploy it on their existing hardware infrastructure, or those who want to really use software-defined storage but do not have the internal skills can use a hyper-converged appliance box, which is really driven by software-defined storage, or they can use cloud-based approach to consume software-defined storage. So where are the real opportunities in the market when it comes to software-defined storage, and who are the big players today, and what's going to happen in the future? IDC tracks software-defined storage software market in this area, and what we see is some of the three big players in software-defined storage are really IBM, driven mostly by its SVC business, and then there's Datacore with its Sun Symphony, and then Microsoft with its storage spaces. These are the three major important players that enterprises are using. And we see that in 2014 alone, the software-defined storage market grew by 19%. To put that in context, the overall storage software market grew by just 6% on average. And when you see 19%, that seems like one of the biggest and fastest growing opportunity within storage software, which gives vendors who are really seeing eroding bottom line to innovate and launch new services within that space, because there is a huge appetite coming in. And we are predicting that by 2019, until 2019, software-defined storage will deliver a compound annual growth rate of 12.4%. It will really reach high in the next 2 years.
Does this cover just primary storage, or does this also include management software?
It does include management software. It's overall, which is why I mentioned.
Is this about virtualization? Like IBM is big there for SVC,
yes,
or what products are included?
So we include SVC in software-defined storage because it fits our definition of software-defined storage. So you would include Datacore, you would include Falcon Store, you would include VMware Solutions, you would include Microsoft. There's Red Hat. So you have all these players coming into the space. So all of the solutions that really decouple storage services and provide the full suite of storage services from a software point of view, and does not have any proprietary hardware requirement. Although SVC may be an appliance, it is just a go-to-market strategy to have an appliance, because it is not a customized hardware. The IBM, if need be, it's architecturally designed such that it can actually be provided as a software, and it's just a go-to-market decision that they're using SVC as an appliance base, and that's why we are actually counting IBM in the software-defined storage space, because it's really a go-to-market decision, and architecturally we think it's pure software-defined storage because all of the storage services are provided from a automated software point of view. Sorry, was that a question?
Yeah, and I also won't agree. From my point of view, I would differ technology which is storage virtualization, because it's in front, you have storage and backend, and really software-defined storage, because if you see like vSAN is running out of boxes, software-defined storage, or SPDO, or CleverSafe, or much more, set from backend. We see Datacore, Vplex, and so there's more, I think, more storage virtualization.
We are looking at the controller software. All these technologies provide the controller software. They provide data persistence, and they provide all the important storage services like thin provisioning and deduplication from a software point of view, which is why we really plot them as software-defined storage.
I think just to add that I think the good news is that we have additional ways of going even deeper into this, right? So to the channel, this room, you can actually, if you want to segment the portion of the market, just look at it and provide the storage-based features, so we can do that and look at that market.
So we covered the forecast, which is, so we see a compound annual growth rate of 12.4%. But as I said, although these are the three big vendors, and IBM is really innovating, Datacore and Microsoft are also innovating, we see newer vendors really attacking that space, because software-defined storage really has no barriers to entry. And so you have all these new vendors like Nexenta, who have innovative technology, who are coming into the market, and there's a huge appetite for automation, and there is a huge appetite with enterprises to really come out of the vendor lock-in that they have with proprietary hardware vendors. So they are evaluating new technologies from Nexenta, And like Microsoft, VMware is really entering the software-defined storage space from a virtualization and compute point of view. So to achieve its vision and to achieve its objective on software-defined data center, it's providing storage services as a software-defined storage as well. So VMware vSAN, as you just rightly mentioned. So virtualization vendors are also entering this space to see that there is a lot of appetite to innovate in this space. And then you have open source vendors, like Red Hat is doing a lot on open source software-defined object storage and software-defined block storage. And then you have newer vendors like HP Enterprise, which is just split so that it can have a deeper focus into software-defined storage to see where the market is growing and innovate into those areas. And then lastly, Dell EMC, where they can combine EMC's software Viper technologies to actually come out with a hyperconverged system to attack the software-defined storage market from an appliance point of view. So we see that there can be big changes ahead, and the top spots are really ready to take for anyone. So what are we seeing from an end user perspective? What's really happening in the market? So our research shows that there is a huge appetite for software-defined storage from enterprises, because there is a belief that it really helps them cut costs because they can use x86 hardware, and they really want that automated software solutions infrastructure so that they can simplify their administration and automate all the mundane storage tasks. But we are also seeing a lot of inhibitors, and some of the major inhibitors are really the lack of resources to evaluate the technology. Although storage administrators really understand the value of software-defined storage, they're really not having enough tools to demonstrate to the line of business or the business stakeholders to actually win their confidence to invest in these kind of new technologies. Because when you go to a CIO, he thinks, okay, these are the tried and tested solutions that I've used, and unless you show me a proper ROI, a proper use case, a proper long-term study on how this is going to benefit, we are not going to disrupt our enterprise. So it's really becoming difficult for storage administrators to convince business stakeholders to invest in new kind of technologies such as software-defined storage. And they also think it is a little bit hard to acquire and deploy. This is really the feedback that we got from end users who were looking at software-defined storage, pure software. When they would just acquire it and try to leverage their own internal x86 hardware, they were finding it was really difficult to deploy and meaningfully use software-defined storage to get all the cost, efficiency, and performance benefits. So some of the recommendations that IDC would provide to SDS providers is really to understand customers what is really inhibiting end users to adapt to software-defined storage solutions, and that is to bring out a lot of evaluation tools, bring out a lot of proof of concepts, bring out a lot of use cases to prove to the customers and to the enterprise stakeholders that SDS over a long period of time will really not just bring cost and efficiency benefits, but will make your enterprise ready for the cloud, mobile, and third platform era. And our recommendations to software-defined storage buyers is that they should really look or evaluate software-defined storage when they look at digitally transforming their enterprise. And they should also look at their internal skills. If there are highly skilled individuals within their storage team, then they can go for a pure software option. But if they're a smaller company and they want to use software-defined storage, but they do not really have the internal skills, then they can go the appliance route. They can adopt hyperconverged systems. So as we saw in Sylvia's slides, hyperconverged and software-defined were two of the 5 major emerging technologies that enterprises are investing in. And hyperconverged is one such technology which is really purely powered by software-defined storage. So there is huge room of opportunity in terms of deployment models and go-to-market models as well. And we think software-defined storage is really ready, and it matters in the digital age. So thank you. And with that, I really hand over to Andreas.